I'm Janny, the therapist in my pocket. We humans worry a lot, don't we? Get bothered and troubled and perplexed. Want and yearn and doubt and fear a great deal. This is a piece that talks about that from a very particular perspective, that of an animal guide who's been sent to tell us humans what we're getting wrong. It's from my book, Dances Amongst the Stars. I hope you enjoy it and find it helpful. It's called simply Letter from an Animal Guide. Dear human, we in the animal realms look on and shake our heads at the stark, staring obviousness of what you so easily miss. Sometimes we even cover our eyes so we don't have to watch. But I've been elected, and I tell you, it was a long and heated discussion because none of us wanted the job, to try and set you straight on a few things. So I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm hoping you'll get what I'm saying, but from your track record so far, I'm not holding my breath. So anyway, here goes. This law of attraction stuff some of you keep harping on about, it's so simple we don't get why you find it so hard to grasp. We animals do it all the time, and we don't even think about it. Okay, see, this is what I thought would happen. I told them. I said you'd start shouting me down. I told them, I said, you know how it'll go. They'll start quoting at me. They'll start listening in order to reply rather than really listening. And they said, but we have to try, don't we? They said, we know their ego is going to get in the way and they're going to be convinced they know better, they said. We know their ego is going to make them want to tell you it's more complicated than that. And we agree that their ego thing is what stresses us animal guides out more than anything else about our humans. But hey, give it a go. Just give it a go, they said. So can you at least try to listen? Just for 5 minutes, it won't take long, I promise. And then you can go back to your intellectual stuff, which, has to be said, seems to us such a total waste of time, but I'm not supposed to say that because they said it would get your back up, so I won't. And then, when I've said it, I can get back to my job of trying to keep you humans from messing up. Okay? Deal? So, here goes. We animals live in what we call the flow. We live in it. It's not something outside of us. We don't make it happen. The flow simply is. The flow meets our every need, and we don't spend any time worrying about tomorrow or beating ourselves up about or crying over yesterday. That truth takes away all stress, all angst for us. We know the flow is. We know the flow is abundant. We know the flow always takes care. We take what we need and are never greedy for more. We watch the world going by, but always know we are in the flow and not of this world, we observe. Oh, surprised you that bit, didn't it? You thought we weren't that clever, huh? Well, duh. You humans also live in the flow. It's not outside of you, it simply is. But because of this crazy ego thing you have, sorry, I'm not supposed to use judgmental words. You seem to think that you're outside of it. And because you think you're outside of it, you don't get that it just is. You develop this striving thing that we animals just can't understand. See, we don't need to strive. You don't need to strive. You don't need to try. You don't need to compete or be the best or try to show how special you are, or try to prove you can control the universe by thinking certain things. Stuff like this law of attraction thing you have going. I want to tell you a secret. We animals have a different word for it. We don't get all technical. We have a saying. Whenever any of us meet each other, we simply murmur, "We are in the flow." Now, that's pretty sacred to us, that saying. It's how we greet each other and how we take leave of each other. Before we take life, we say to the one who gives their life to us, "We are in the flow." We say it with appreciation, with gratitude, and we don't take that life until the one who is giving their life has replied back, "We are in the flow." We know we come from the flow and that we go back to the flow, that the flow is in us and around us and in all things, that we are the flow, as are all things. And before we choose to incarnate, just as you do, we visualize how our brief time here on this earth plane is going to go. We do it briefly and quickly, because we know by now how pretty insignificant that all is in the overall scheme of things, in the life of the flow. We know that we will live out what we agreed, and that it will always be going the way it needs to be going. And we know we are always being taken care of by the flow, that everything is always working out. See, if only you humans could get that, really get that, but you cut yourself off from the flow by choosing to do the thinking thing. If you would only use your senses, as we animals do, it could all be so simple. Because I tell you, when you allow yourself to be in the flow, life is joyous and peaceful and worry-free. You don't make law of attraction work, you allow law of attraction to work. Life is always working out for you, because just as we animals do, you planned how it would go before you came. So you don't have to make it happen, because it's already going to happen. You simply have to allow it and enjoy the ride this time around. When you simply allow, you will always find happiness, always. There. So that's it. You just have to let go, allow, appreciate, be curious and joyous, and go with the flow, in the flow. When you do that, everything you spend so much time reading and talking about will happen for you, because you'll be in the flow. Okay, so thanks for listening. I'm going to find me a shady tree now and lay under it for a while. After all, I'll see what takes my fancy. Just going with the flow. See you round. You've been listening to Letter from an Animal Guide from Dancers Amongst the Stars by Janny, the therapist in my pocket. I hope it spoke to you and that you enjoyed listening. If you would like to watch this on YouTube, the link is in my bio, as are the links to the book itself. In the meantime, thanks for listening. Thanks for showing up. Be blessed, be kind, big love.